Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, college football fans across the nation and around the world. This is Tim May with the Tim May Show, a special Tim May Show, a special sort of brief Tim May Show featuring Tyson Gentry. We'll get to that in a moment. But with football season right around the corner, the Big Ten meetings coming up next week, the last week of July, the last full week of July. SEC meetings already going on, and I know everyone's got the itch to get to college football season sooner rather than later, which is where this special edition podcast comes in. Tyson Gentry, as you know, suffered a catastrophic spinal injury during practice way back in the mid 2000s at Ohio State, a walk-on wide receiver, and has been on the comeback trail ever since, obviously, and stuff. We'll get into that with him in just a moment, but you know, if you have a desire to go to the Ohio State season opener against Texas, I don't know, as anticipated a season opener as I can remember for Ohio State, um, going back many, many years, then Tyson Gentry might just have the ticket for you. Make that tickets. He's running a raffle to benefit his foundation, which benefits the right people, and you'll learn about that in a moment in our conversation. But he'll give you the details of the raffle. But it's very interesting. Four really good tickets in Ohio Stadium, plus a parking pass on the east side of the stadium. You can't go wrong with that. And the more raffle tickets you buy, the better chance you get. And those tickets would probably be in the $1,200 to $1,800 range based on the resale market that's going on right now uh, with this Ohio State Texas opener, much anticipated. So, without further ado, let's get to my conversation with Tyson Gentry. There's the promise. There's Tyson Gentry. Tyson Gentry. I've been promising people that, man, you got to hook up. You got to ticket hookup for that first game, Ohio State hosting Texas on August the 30th at high noon. And by the way, welcome back to the Tim May Show. But give people some details on how you can hook them up if they in fact step forward and help your foundation. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. You've been talking a big game. I may as well back it up for you.
Appreciate it.
Four tickets, section 23 AA. And the best part about them, one of the perks that comes with being in a wheelchair and having wheelchair accessible seats, you get to share them with friends and family and fellow Buckeyes. You don't have to worry about people nudging over into your seats. You'll have four chairs individually seated there, plus you're above everybody. You can see you're literally right there at the best spot, 23 AA. And then it also comes with a parking pass for East Stadium parking lot. So you can get there early, pre-game, get some good food, get a couple drinks in you, and head on into the stadium right there. So it's a ultimate package, and all the charity or all the proceeds will go to my charity called New Perspective Foundation, where we help families affected by spinal cord injury. So it's a pretty special deal.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do people get in on the bidding process for this? Because it will go basically the highest bidder, correct?
No, so it's not an auction. What's great is
Oh,
you can just buy a raffle ticket. It's $25 a piece. And
oh, it's a
the more
raffle.
tickets
Okay, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right,
Yeah,
right. So yeah, I mean we're equal opportunists over here. We like to make sure that everybody, if you don't have a big budget, you can still get a chance to win. And plus, it's fair than that way anyway. Everybody gets a chance, but the more tickets you buy, the cheaper they'll be. We've got packages where I don't think of what the most expensive package is, but a few $100s will get you 20 plus tickets, maybe something like that.
wow,
And they're cheaper than $25 per ticket when you get the larger package.
gotcha. And once again, the website where you can find this on, or how do you get the raffle tickets?
Yep. So our website is newperspective.org. And if you want to go right to the link, it's just newperspective.org/raffle. But you can just see the link right up there at the top of our homepage and click that. And what's great is the processing company that processes our payments is Zephy. They will cover the fees. So if you're not able to cover the fees, that doesn't get tossed to us. You can just put in zero and Zephy will cover the fees for us. So it's a really great organization.
No kidding. Hey, and once again, man, we talked about this before when you were on here a couple of years ago. The new perspective. What does that entail? What does it benefit?
Man, it's just such a unique niche that we've found with being able to help families with their travel expenses. So when my wife Megan and I wanted to start a foundation, I really reflected on kind of what meant the most to me when I was in the hospital going through the thick of it, and having my family and my friends there to visit me by my side made such a difference from my mental health standpoint and my recovery that I really honed in on that. And I recalled my parents saying how much money they spent just driving back and forth between Sandusky and Columbus.
Yeah.
And that really kind of stood out to me. So we were like, why don't we make sure that families don't have to worry about taking time off of work so they don't have income coming in. A lot of people don't have savings to depend on. So let's pay for their travel expenses, airfare, gas, lodging, rental car, whatever it may be, so families can travel if they're especially traveling from out of state and not have to worry about incurring those big expenses, and they can just focus on what truly matters, and that's being there to support their loved ones in the hospital. So we've been up and running since 2000, late 2014, early 2015, and we've given over $700,000 at this point,
Wow.
um, and
Wow.
then helped over 300 families so far. So it's been a blessing. God is good, and we
Yes.
truly appreciate all the amazing people who have helped us along the way.
Yeah, and just for folks who aren't necessarily familiar with you, Tyson, you obviously suffered a catastrophic spinal injury, uh, got hit on a play in practice, and couldn't get up. I'm talking about back in the mid 2000s at Ohio State. In Ohio Stadium, as a matter of fact, is where it happened. You were uh, uh, never had a chance to walk again, but it seems to me like you've gotten, maybe I'm wrong, you've gotten more use of your arms back a little bit, maybe since the last time maybe we talked, maybe I'm wrong about that, but uh, just give people an idea of your progress or what you're dealing with at this point.
Yeah, so really it was just a routine tackle. It wasn't a big hit or anything. Kurt Coleman was my teammate who tackled me, and it was just really the way I hit the ground. He kind of
Yeah,
landed on top of me a little bit, and that was it. So I was initially paralyzed from the neck down, couldn't feel or move anything below my shoulders, really. All I could do was shrug my shoulders at the time. And then after a few weeks, I had two extensive surgeries to repair my spine and support it. I've got titanium in my neck. But after a few weeks, I started getting a little bit of movement back in my biceps. And going from relying on somebody to feed me, to scratch my face, to do literally everything for me, to then being able to do some of those things on my own with the help of a brace and some other assistive technology things. Just getting that independence back was a game changer for me. And I'm so grateful just to be able to have use of my biceps. So I can't move my fingers, my wrists, my triceps. I only have biceps and shoulder function. And again, it's not as much as I had hoped for, but at the end of the day, hence New Perspective Foundation. It's all about having perspective and being grateful for every little thing. And so,
yeah,
yeah, we just focus on the positives, and a lot of good has come from my injury. The foundation, obviously, I met my wife. We've got two awesome boys who are 7 and 9 now.
yeah.
And just again, it was a dream come true to be able to wear the scarlet and gray for Ohio State and to uh, fulfill that dream and be a part of those amazing championship teams under Coach Tress. I wouldn't change it for anything, and you know, I bleed scarlet and gray for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Victories come in all kinds of packages, ladies and gentlemen. National championships or being able to move your biceps. I mean, it's amazing, and I feel so good for you, Tyson, in all kinds of ways because you've turned a really tough situation into something extremely positive. We talked about that last time you were on my show. I want to ask you this, just jumping, jumping the hurdle here. Um, Jeremiah Smith. What comes to mind when you watch Jeremiah Smith do what you did? You know, you were a wide receiver at Ohio State, and you know a little bit about wide receiver play. But when I say the two words Jeremiah Smith, what comes to mind?
Just a natural athlete who the biggest thing I'm biggest on mental toughness, right? Like physically, I was defeated. My body doesn't do what I want it to anymore, but I'm extremely grateful to be able to have my mind. And so to me, I'm always looking for mental toughness in people. And Jeremiah Smith has it to have that foundation coming in and then to be underneath a coach like Brian Hartline, who just is an incredible athlete. He was my teammate at
Right.
Ohio State. He was a year younger than me. But I mean, just that combination of coaching and then raw, natural athletic talent and the mindset to be able to put in the work and do what's necessary and stay focused because there are a lot of distractions, especially nowadays. He's just the whole package is what it seems like. And I pray that he continues on this path and keeps breaking records and turning heads because it's pretty awesome to watch.
You remember what the wide receiver, I thought the wide receiver room was pretty good when you were there. You know what I mean? I mean,
Oh
Brian
my God.
Hartline was there, Ted Ginn Jr. was there, Anthony Gonzalez. Well, I'm trying to remember Santonio Holmes, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like this uh, wide receiver you got started 5 minutes ago. But I want to ask you this. I've been uh, considering this question for a while. What do you see that's different about Brian Hartline compared to the player Brian Hartline that I don't know you admire or you're surprised by? I mean, you've seen him mature, obviously, from being a wide receiver on a team to being a coach to now being offensive coordinator. But what do you like about Brian Hartline? I guess is what I would ask.
So here's what I'll say about Hartline that I saw the moment he arrived on campus is kid is a student of the game. I mean, just right away he got in and he got with the upperclassmen. I can remember, especially Anthony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Anthony is a very cerebral person, very intelligent, and I can remember Hartline just following Gonzo around all the time, just asking him questions like, "Hey, what would you do here?" So it was very noticeable just how much he studied the game and learned the nuances. But I mean, he was a talent right out the gate anyway. He was
Yeah.
a dual sport athlete in high school, a hurdler. I ran hurdles, so I respected him for that. And yeah, just to see him apply his athleticism to the mental side of football, because it doesn't matter how strong or fast you are or how athletic you are. If you don't have it right between the ears, you're not going to be out there. And yeah, it wasn't a surprise to see him do well in the NFL. And clearly, it's just a natural transition into coaching. So it's been really cool to watch him take this wide receiver room to a whole new level.
Yeah, whenever anybody knows that you were a wide receiver at Ohio State and were part of a team like that and you knew Brian Hartline, the next question is, what kind of offensive coordinator do you think he will make? I mean, obviously they were going to do this a couple of years ago, and I think it was more of a sense that Ryan Day wasn't quite ready to step away from that, aspect of things, the play calling aspect of things. But what do you think will be different about Ohio State's offense under Brian Hartline? Obviously, it's the Ohio State offense, not Brian Hartline's offense. I mean, Ryan
Right.
Day makes that clear, just like Urban Meyer did, about Ohio State's offense back then. But what do you think will be a little bit nuanced or different about it?
I think, yeah, just getting those couple years under Ryan Day, seeing how he ran the offense, and clearly he'll still always be a part of it. You don't completely walk away from a passion like that and the mind
Yeah,
that Coach Day has for running an offense. But then to get to see Chip Kelly and what he did with things and the wrinkles that he would throw in, I'm really excited to see Brian put things together and to create some wrinkles of his own because I think that again, just getting those years under those coaches with all the experience that they have, I think he's gonna try and do some things, especially with the talent that he's got. I mean, why not?
right. Exactly. Why not? That's the good question. Hey,
Yeah.
last thing. Uh, how exciting was it to watch your alma mater win another national championship? I mean, as you watched last year and stuff, what was it from your perspective? Was it a magical time? I mean, obviously the loss to Michigan and then the four straight victories over playoff teams to win the national championship. Was it Cinderella? How would you describe it from your perspective?
I wouldn't say Cinderella. I would say it would just be few different words, justification. Um,
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times the pressure and um, the issue of the rivalry game can get in people's heads, and that's what it's always gone back to, is that throw the records out the window when it comes to that game,
Yeah.
because sometimes you do try too hard or you put too much pressure and things like that happen. There is no reason that we should have lost that game, but at the end of the day, on any given day, any team can win. So to be able to move forward and to hear after the fact, because right, they didn't really talk about it until after the season, or at least get into the details of what happened behind closed doors after we lost.
Yeah.
See the team come together the way that they did. That experience that the guys who are still on the team now are going to carry forward with them and teach up these younger guys and be like, look, this is how we have to do it moving forward. We have the talent, we have the coaches, we have all the ingredients, but again, between the head is where it begins, and or between the ears is where it begins. And man, to see how we handled business against Tennessee and down the line, it was just incredible, and the justification was so well deserved. And honestly, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact of seeing players like Travion and everybody talking about their faith and just how much of a front seat that whole dialogue took. I think it really played a big difference in bringing the team together.
Yeah. Especially, in my opinion, especially after the loss to Michigan and the big player meeting with Ryan Day, and then Ryan Day walking
Yeah.
out of the, stepping away from the meeting, and them, as I've explained it to people, there could have been fist fights, at the end of the player only meeting. Instead, it was a kumbaya moment. I mean, guys locked arms and said a prayer, said prayers, and I thought that was when the faith element really stepped forward with that team when it needed it the most. And it is amazing. I mean, no matter what your beliefs are, it is amazing when people understand there's more to it than just me, right? Or I.
Yeah. 100%. And I think, like you just said, when they had that closed door meeting to be able to speak freely, it says a lot about Coach Day to just
Yes.
look, we got stuff on our chest. Let's get it off, let's air it out and get everything out in the open so that we can move forward from this together. Because when you don't do that, then things stay buried and individual quiet conversations happen in corners and things stay segmented, and you cannot have a fractured team when you're going into the playoffs. So to just throw everything to the wind and just handle business like they did, I mean, it was an amazing thing to watch those 4 games. So yeah.
Yeah. I know that finally when the clock struck zero against Notre Dame, they'd won the national championship. Ryan Day was in ecstasy. Uh, Bottom line is his finest hour was that team meeting. His finest hour of the season, because it could have gone any way, could have gone any way possible. It was like you were at a six-way stop, and that thing could have gone all different directions.
Yeah,
Hey,
and it was so
uh,
well deserved
go ahead.
too.
Go ahead.
Just very well deserved for Coach Day to get that win
Yeah.
to just silence a lot of the haters. So
Amen. Yeah. Hey, last thing before we go, remind people once again, newperspective.org. You can enter the raffle for these four highly placed, well placed tickets for the Ohio State season opener against Texas with a parking pass on the east side. Go through the parameters one more time. Newperspective.org / what, raffle, or go ahead.
slash raffle, or even just go to the homepage. But we'll draw a winner on August 16th. It'll give you 2 weeks to make plans if you're from out of state, whatever it might be. But yeah, it would be awesome to be able to go to the game. But it's just, the foundation needs money. We've got families from all over the nation that we're helping, and it's just a great opportunity to let somebody else experience an amazing game for $25 even. So it's a pretty incredible opportunity. We truly appreciate the support. Buckeye fans are some of the greatest in the nation, the greatest in the nation. And I witnessed that firsthand after my injury. And
Yep.
the cards and everything, that the outpouring of love that I received. So definitely good luck to everybody, and thank you for all your support.
And by the way, Texas fans, you can enter this raffle too.
Yeah, you can. The
Yeah.
last time Texas came to Ohio Stadium, I was a sophomore, and man, that was a tough loss. We almost had it, and Texas went on to win it, the national championship that year. So
Yeah. Tyson, I know you're a sports fan too. I mean, isn't it amazing that these teams had never played until that night in Ohio Stadium? These two storied programs, and now they played several times since then, including the next year. When Ohio State went to Texas. But great victory down there, and really started the Troy Smith bandwagon toward the Heisman Trophy in 2006. But isn't that
yeah.
amazing how these two-story programs have rarely played, and boy, what a marquee value it has when they do.
Yeah, it really does. And what's interesting, if I have a minute to say it, the game that year, us against Texas, that we came just short of beating them, and then later in the season, USC played Notre Dame, and that was the Bush Push game where
That's right.
USC ended up beating Notre Dame. So they went to the national championship. We played Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl,
Yeah.
and a couple plays here or there, it could have been us and Notre Dame in the national championship game or whatever it may be. But man, we trounced them in the Fiesta Bowl. But gosh, it would have been pretty incredible had things gone another way. But everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. As I said to Jim Trussell as he walked in for the press conference before the press conference started, I was over on the side and I said, Charlie Weiss, they say Charlie Weiss is an offensive genius. What does this make you? And the now Lieutenant Governor said, I don't know. But he understood my drift. He understood. It's funny how he held stuff back, but boy, in big games, all of a sudden you guys, like in 2001, all of a sudden Ohio State's running the spread, at Michigan in one of the great victories ever and stuff. So we'll see what
Yeah,
Ryan Day does for that game this year. Comes up with something special. But Tyson, thank you very much for joining the Tim May Show again, man. And hey, we're going to announce. We won't be the pure announcers, but we will echo the winner of this raffle in mid-August, and whoever wins this thing should have a great time. Correct?
oh, absolutely. I don't see how they can have a good time. It'll be perfect late summer day, and gosh, 3:30 game. Why not? Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Actually, it's a noon game.
Did it get changed? It was 3:30, I thought.
Oh no, I think it's noon. It's the big noon kickoff. So yeah, that was
Excellent.
the big deal. Was they wanted to try to get it to be a night game, and that didn't work out. So when
Yeah,
Fox pulls all the strings. So actually, it's probably going to be cooler at noon than it is at 3:30 anyway. When you
that's true.
think about it, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, ladies and gentlemen, Tyson Gentry. Tyson, once again, thanks for joining the Tim May Show again, my man.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it.